Hello there, welcome back to my world of stuff. Beautiful day today. For once I'm not complaining about the weather. Absolutely lovely day today, and I'm off on a bit of an adventure. Get the train into Cardiff. I live just outside Cardiff, about a half an hour drive. But I get the train in. I haven't been to Cardiff for a while, so I'm going to have a little mooch around, pop into some shops, do a bit of Blu-ray hunting. I'm also going to the theatre, darlings. I'm going to see a production of Sherlock Holmes in the Valley of Fear. It's not a big star production, but it's not exactly am-dram. So I'm catching a matinee performance of that. So I'm heading off to my local railway station. I got a refreshing drink. I'm on a bit of a health kick at the moment. Lost about 8 pounds in the last 10 days or so, which is not bad. It needs to be done. So join me on my adventure. So I'm at the station waiting for the train. This is the train going up the other way. Yeah, it's the first time on the train for a few months for me, and we've been having some upgrades to the system, and these are much flashier trains that we used to have, quite modern looking. Yeah, that'll be coming back my way in about a quarter of an hour. So I have a nice sparkling mango. In Cardiff, got off at the Queen Street station, just heading to Queen Street. That's a very sad sight. Premier Cinema, which is now closed down. It's a shame. It's a small cinema chain. I think there's only a couple of Premier Cinemas in the country, but I think that one closed down very suddenly a couple of months ago, which is a shame because it was a nice little cinema. Used to go there occasionally when I was in Cardiff, but I think the pandemic probably did for it in the end. Shame to see it abandoned though, because there used to be a cinema there years ago. I think it was I don't think it was Cineworld, but there was certainly a cinema there. It was closed for years. It was really nice when it reopened, but gone again now, unfortunately. Anyway, onwards. Right, just sitting down for a couple of minutes. I've actually got a bit of a injury to my leg, my right leg in particular. So I've been back to the gym lately. I think I've sort of jarred it a little bit. So I've got a bandage thing wrapped around to ease the pressure, which is helping. But not able to do great long walks at the moment, which is a pain because I do like striding around. Anyway, I'm in Queen Street in Cardiff. Quite a few shops to have a look at here. Smith's going to pick up a couple of magazines. Then we've got HMV. In the arcade there's a CEX, and there's one of those cinema stores that have been selling the new Doctor Who figures that have been released since Eagle Moss went bust. So I'm tempted to pick a couple of those. Then a spot of lunch somewhere, and then wander into the theatre for 2:30. The Chinese dentist. So I've got other shops to look into as well, so I better get moving. Right, a couple of hours later, I just come out of the theatre on my way back to the train. Apologies for not getting as much footage out and about as I'd have liked. There was very little in CEX worth photographing, and HMV, as you can see, was quite big but very quiet. So I'm heading for the train, 25 to 6. I will do a little wrap-up video when I get back home, which will be now. Right, I'm back in the cinema room. I'm a bit of a time traveller, you know. I am a time traveller. I recorded that video last Thursday. It's now the following Monday. It's Bank Holiday Monday. I just didn't get round to finishing the video off last week, and I just thought I would come in and do a few minutes to wrap up now. I've just uploaded an Indiana Jones video from last week, so I thought I'd finish off this one. Yeah, so that was my expedition last Thursday into the big city of Cardiff. I'm not great at doing the sort of Blu-ray hunts and things on video because you just feel a bit self-conscious holding a camera along the racks of DVDs and videos and so on in HMV and CEX. But I did a little bit to give you an idea of how things were. So looking back on the day last week, it was a nice little day out, nice trip on the train. It's so handy for me locally now. The train takes about 50 minutes to get in, so it's a nice little relaxing trip. I don't mind driving, but sometimes it's nice to just get the train. It's quite cheap. As I said, as I showed you in that one video clip, the trains are now very modern, very clean and up to date, so that's quite nice. Whereas they used to be sort of quite old-fashioned bone shakers, but Transport for Wales have got their act together a little bit with some new trains. So it was a very nice little trip. So I had to wander around. It was just nice to be out in a t-shirt, wandering around. Popping into HMV, as I said, there wasn't a lot going on in HMV, not many people in there. But I think some of the clips give you an idea of the scale. I think it's sort of fairly general that HMV has now become the HMV shop, much more focusing on merchandise and sweets and bits and things like that. Although there's still a massive range of physical media, but I think they're pushing more towards the collector's market with these ridiculous Funko Pops that everybody goes nuts for. I don't understand the appeal of those damn things, I really don't. And action figures and t-shirts and that sort of stuff, which probably has a very handy price markup. So that's where the money is, and they're sort of balancing now between doing that sort of stuff and physical media, and it seems to be doing well because HMV seem to be thriving, so more power to them. CEX, the trouble with Cardiff CEX, as I saw somebody else say last week when they visited, because it's the capital city, I think it gets picked clean of the decent stuff fairly soon, so there really wasn't very much there. And very annoyingly, I don't know why it is. It only seems to be in CEXs in Wales. They don't have a separate 4K section now. I see other people's videos that they put up when they go hunting, and there's always like blocks of 4K discs, and that's where I'm sort of interested in upping my collection, 4K discs. So it's a bit frustrating that in Cardiff and all the ones in Wales that I've been around South Wales, they're just sort of dotted in the middle of the ranks, so you sort of come across them rather than specifically look at them. I can sort of see why they would do it, to encourage people to look at everything and not just a specific format, but they don't seem to do it anywhere else except Wales, so it's a bit frustrating. But there wasn't really anything that grabbed my attention in Cardiff CX. It was, as I say, it had been picked clean. There wasn't really much there that caught my attention. So I have a nice big chunky voucher still burning a hole in my wallet, which I dare say I'll get through at some point. So yeah, the rest of the day then, I went to see Sherlock Holmes and the Valley of Fear in the new theatre again. I couldn't take any footage, obviously, but what an enjoyable afternoon that was. That's one of the Sherlock Holmes stories I'm not that familiar with. It's the final novel, apparently, and it's one where he sort of identifies Moriarty as the Napoleon of crime, that he's been all along, really, manipulating a lot of the events behind the scenes in a very modern style. Very good story, very well mounted on stage. It wasn't a big... well-known cast. It was a sort of a touring production that's done Sherlock Holmes things in the past. But the guy who played Sherlock Holmes had a very Matt Smith look and energy about him. In fact, I heard somebody in the row behind me a bit disappointed when they realised it wasn't Matt Smith, because they thought it was, and he did have that look, that sort of angular face. And there were a couple of times he did very Matt Smith, Doctor Who type things. So I don't know if that was a conscious thing on his part. But no, it was a really good show. Really enjoyed it. Especially the second half was... very good when the mystery all came together. So that's just something I spotted that was on in the theatre a couple of weeks ago, and bagged myself a ticket, an afternoon matinee ticket, and it was very good, very enjoyable. So that was my trip to Cardiff last week, which I thought I'd document for better or for worse. Hope you enjoyed watching this video. Coming up then, you'll have seen there is a new Indiana Jones review up. There will be another Indiana Jones review up, hopefully by the end of this week. There'll also be a retro review of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which I'm probably going to watch on Wednesday. And then, of course, the new one, Across the Spider-Verse, is out on Thursday. So I'll probably be seeing that, all being well, on Friday morning. So I should get a review up Friday night, Saturday, over the weekend sometime. So, yeah, busy old time with bits and pieces coming up. What else has been going on? Over the weekend, I did some filming for a friend of mine who is entering a short horror film competition. Just a 6-minute film, and it was one of those sort of Zoom horror type things which were very popular during the pandemic, and it's good fun to do that because there was some dialogue involved, and with the things that I've done normally for CBS reality, you don't get a chance to do a lot of dialogue-y things, so it's quite nice to sort of practice that sort of thing. And that was done with an actress who actually appeared in Doctor Who a little while ago, Salem Baxter, who fans might remember playing Tetian, the Gallifreyan woman who found the timeless child. And she's been in lots of things. I sort of was with her in it, but I filmed my bit separately and she filmed her bit separately. We did have a Zoom discussion about it the week before, so I did sort of speak to her and meet her, but it wasn't a face-to-face thing. But it was quite nice to do something with a professional actor. Good fun. So that's what I did on the weekend. So now it's the bank holiday. This week coming, tomorrow on Tuesday, I'm going to see a production of Neil Gaiman's The Ocean at the End of the Lane. I've just reread the book. I read it years ago, but really couldn't remember much about it. A friend of mine's booked tickets. She's a big fan, so we'll probably go for a meal first, and I've read the book again, so I know a bit more what to expect. It sort of came back to me as I was reading it. Not a massive Gaiman fan, must admit, but I did enjoy reading this book. It's quite eerie sort of book, if you're familiar with it. And then the week after, for me, the big one, and I might get some footage for that, possibly. It's Coldplay in Cardiff on the 4th of June. Really looking forward to that. It's probably the only music artist I would go to a massive 75,000 or whatever event, because I don't really do massive crowds these days. But Coldplay are my musical heroes these days. So a group of us are going off to see them next Tuesday the 4th. So a busy few days coming up, busy week or so coming up. Summer is sort of in force now. It's been a lovely few days. Hope you've been enjoying yourselves, and let me know what you've been up to. If you've seen any films or any TV or been out and about, let me know what you've been doing. Leave a comment down below, like and subscribe too, and I'll see you on the next video. Until I do, yeah, keep taking the stuff.